Hey there, welcome to My Green Pets. I'm William Green. Today is Division Day. My apartment is a disaster. I have been taking plants apart all day, and I wanted to show you what the inventory is looking like. Medusae got pulled apart into 4 pieces. It was not pretty. Separating Bulbophyllums that have been growing in sphagnum is nothing short of an orchid nightmare. If you cut the wrong place, you end up losing big parts of plants, or for example, you end up with just one bulb divisions. Now I'm going to try to get these to grow, but if they do, the first growth will just be a really small leaf, and then maybe by then it'll be established. But these are going to take some time to recover. The rest of them are pretty decent size, so hopefully those will I'm going to try to get everything good and rooted and growing for the auction that I'm planning on having in May or June. Vanda falcata was getting pretty big, so it got split up into 7 pieces. Some of them are quite small, but this has been a really good grower for me, and it's really healthy, and I think it'll bounce back pretty quick. I've got some other little random Bulbophyllums. I've got Bulbophyllum rufinum. Got a couple pieces of that one. Where'd the other one go? Oh, here it is. These are both rufinum. This is a lepidum, Bulbophyllum lepidum here. This is little Cattleyas here. It needs to be potted up pretty quick. And then all the rest of this is lovely Elizabeth. And we got several divisions with 4 or 5 bulbs on them, and then some smaller divisions, and I even ended up with just one here. Oh, it's got a new growth, so got tons of roots, so hopefully I can pot it up and get it to grow. Probably won't bloom this year though. Jessie got chopped up into 3 pieces. 2 really nice healthy front bulb sections, and then the back bulb section. So again, we're gonna pot these guys up. I'm gonna let everything dry out really good, because there's all kinds of injuries, torn leaves, broken off growths, and ripped up rhizomes, and just want to give everything a chance to dry out, bone dry, to just kind of minimize anything getting into those wounds. And then hopefully we can pot everything up tomorrow or Monday, and get everything growing again. I don't know where these are all going to go. They might go in the bottom of the tent, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Also got some Catacedum divisions. So the Cycnodes Wine Delight. This massive bulb is now on its own. It already has a new growth coming out of it, and the new growth is going to start rooting very soon. The little root tips are already pointing out. So that's going to be happening soon. I've split Wine Delight into 3 pieces, 1, 2, and then this 2 bulb piece. Desert Davison. The main bulb got separated, another big bulb here, and then this little or smaller bulb. So there's 3 divisions of that. And then Mormodia Jumbo World got split into 2 pieces as well. 1 2 bulb piece, 1 3 bulb piece. Also, my awards arrived in the mail. Super excited about that. There's the Mormodia. There's the Desert Davison. So those are fun. So everything's kind of a mess right now. Let's go look in the tent real quick. Before we do, I just want to look quickly at Dendrobium Country Girl. I don't think I'm going to divide this plant. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Let it grow a little bit. It's got new buds poking out up here. That's exciting. So it's about a month and a half before we see any flowers out of those, but hopefully those are going to do well. Okay, let's go look in the tent. So the first thing I think when I look in the tent is it doesn't really look like that much has been done. It's still pretty full in here, but I think that's going to be all the dividing that I'm doing this time around. I hate it. It's a pain in the ass, but it has to be done. Cattleyas are all doing pretty well, pushing out new growth. Really excited to see how they continue to grow. This one I'm not sure. I don't know if it's going to be this growth or this growth that's going to start pushing. This one was the first plant to bloom, but it's always the last to start out growing in the spring. It's interesting. Some of the new growths are quite far along now. Check out this one back here. It's already halfway up. The new leaf is going to be poking out soon, and there's a couple more coming out too. Exciting. Hopefully those will bloom, although with the pod on it, it may not bloom as much because it's putting all that energy into the pod. This one's got new growth coming out there. Also very nice. Why aren't you focusing? There we go. So yeah, lots of new growth. Actually, one of the plants with pods, how do I turn the focus off? I don't know. Anyway, this one's turning yellow. You can see it's browning up here, and I don't know. It's only been 6 months. I don't know if there's viable seed in there or not, but someone said, you know, as the plants are starting to grow, they're realizing they don't have enough resources to grow and hold the pods. So while one pod still looks okay, the other pod does not look great. I still can't figure out how to... I want to make all this... Okay. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. This little Cattleya triani is really impressing me. It is an aggressive grower. Look at those roots. They look really great. Lots of roots on this guy too. Check it out. Wow! New growth down there popping up too. Very exciting. Dendrochilum tenellum. If you can believe this, a couple years ago when I got the division, it had 3 of these grassy leaves and that was it. And now it's really got something more. You can see lots of roots starting to grow out. And if we're lucky, we'll see this guy bloom in March. Hope so. Phalaenopsis schilleriana has got a keiki. Look at that. Will it live? Who knows? Hope so. This little no ID nobile type dendrobium. I got this division from a friend. Didn't know the name, but it's a beautiful one with white flowers and kind of a rosy blush on the edges and fragrant. So that's cool. I love how when these guys start growing, they just start going crazy. Roots pouring out everywhere. Be great when that finally blooms. The Bulbophyllum crocium that I showed you, this is the second spike that's turned yellow, so again, really don't think it's going to be blooming for us, so I'm going to go ahead and pot it up, probably in sphagnum or a sphagnum bark mix. We'll see, but it needs to be potted up. Seedlings still look okay. Now this is a Tillandsia that someone gave me, and I don't really know what to do with Tillandsias, but it looks nice, but I would like for it to bloom. I don't know when I think they bloom in the summer, but I don't know if I need to do anything special, if it's getting enough light. You Tillandsia experts, I'd be interested to hear what you had to say about that. Hal did not get divided. I just kind of started digging around in there, and I don't see why his bulbs should be shriveled up like that. They really shouldn't. The newest bulbs look okay, but I'm not sure if he is 100% healthy, but I'm just gonna leave him alone. You're gonna just do what you want to do, Hal. My paths down here seem to be doing okay. They seem to be doing alright in the lower light levels. I mean, still a little bit more time to know for sure, but nothing alarming happening. They stay a little bit wetter down here, which is good. My cattail orchid, the Malaxis latifolia, also known as Dienia ophydis, starting to pop out of dormancy. I saw some new growth popping out of that. I'm thinking I might actually separate. This is several of them in one pot. I might separate them out into separate pots so that I can sell a few in the auction too, if anybody's interested. And then I affectionately dubbed this Phalaenopsis Phalaenopsaurus because it's so enormous. And it's got a nice new spike coming on with several. I've counted 8 buds so far, but I don't think it's done growing out, so that'll be nice. Down here in the lower level. So yeah, down here the light's pretty minimal, but I think just for the purpose of, you know, putting things here for a while to kind of get rooted and get going, I think that they'll still be able to survive. I mean, if this jade plant, which is a highlight plant, you can see it's kind of stretching, but I mean it's growing. It's not, you know, it's still okay. And as the days get longer, the sunlight is going to be pouring in the mornings through the blinds, and that's really going to increase light everywhere. Top tent, bottom of the tent, everywhere. And then finally, let's look at the little seedlings. Oh, aren't they cute? Little roots popping out everywhere. Trying to make sure that they're pretty dry between waterings, but new roots are always a good thing. Here's the little mounted ones. They've also got little roots popping out there. So that's great. Hopefully a few of those will survive. Come on, little seedlings. I really don't like sphagnum. It just, I think it holds on to all kinds of stuff that's not good for the plants, but I really don't know what else to do other than mount them, and I'm not mounting them all. So I will say that my Rexes, when these guys were little babies, they survived in sphagnum for a good year or two before I put them in bark, so I think they'll be fine for now. Alright guys, well this is kind of a work in progress here. A lot of stuff to do. I gotta count up the number of pots that I have and then figure out how many I need to repot the plants that have been divided and then somehow fit them in here. And also I have begun the process of ordering from Peruflora in Peru. If you email them, they will send you their most recent price list as an Excel sheet, and they have they have probably 10 different varieties of Cattleya Rex in flask ready to be planted up. And so I'm putting in an order with them soon. Right now I'm just kind of figuring out what I need in terms of permits, because I have to apply for an international sites permit to get these things shipped to the United States. I have heard that they will bring plants to shows when they travel to the United States and then ship your orders from the show. However, I don't know of any shows that they're going to be attending this year with the coronavirus still rampant in many places. And so I just want to go ahead and get it done. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be, the order itself is probably around $300, and then add $100 for the Peruvian permits, add another $100 for the American permits, and then I believe there might be additional shipping charges on top of that. So the auction is, the purpose of the auction is to pay for that whole thing, because it's going to be a big chunk. So your continued support is very much appreciated. And yeah, that's it. So until next time, I'm William Green. These are my green pets, and we'll update you through the week on Instagram and give you another video update on YouTube next weekend. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later. Bye.